Alright, let's just be real. The Walking Dead has always been a blood soaked playground for some wild, twisted villains. We've had psycho leaders, creepy cult types, and those unpredictable wild cards who do stuff that makes you yell at your TV. But out of nowhere, Dead City dropped this new guy, Bruegel, on us. And man, how did it take 15 years to bring someone like him into the mix? Look, we've seen some heavy hitters over the years. Negan showed up swinging Lucille and cracking jokes like he was hosting a comedy show in the apocalypse. The governor, total control freak with a whole secret room full of heads. And Alpha, cold, creepy, cult leader vibes all day. These are the names that instantly come to mind when you think TWD villain. But let's be honest, it's not always the big bads that steal the spotlight. Even smaller characters like Joe, you remember that guy who talked all soft while doing the most savage stuff, and Pete, the abusive surgeon dude, somehow left lasting impressions. Then you've got those are they bad or just complicated people like Morrow and Jadis, who stirred things up in totally different ways. And hey, the spin-offs didn't slack either. Jeanette, the Croat, Victor Strand, Major General Beale, all brought their own flavor, but none of them have the exact vibe that Bruegel brings to the table. We're only a couple of episodes into Dead City, Season 2, and already this dude Bruegel is stealing scenes like he owns the place. He didn't even talk in his first episode, but you still couldn't take your eyes off him. Dude rolls up in some flashy outfit, moving like a mix between an old school mob boss and an art snob, and it's instantly like, okay, this guy's different. Come to find out, he runs one of the biggest gangs in Manhattan and a zombie fight club. Like what? That alone makes him top tier villain material. Then episode 4 hits, and it's like boom, Bruegel levels up. He starts talking, gets more screen time, and yeah, turns out he's a total snake in the grass. Smooth, polite, throws around compliments like candy, but you can tell he's only ever looking out for himself. The kind of guy who smiles while stabbing you in the back and asks you if you want wine with it. And Kim Coates is crushing this role. His delivery, his swagger, the way he plays that charming but shady game, it's chef's kiss. Plus, Bruegel's got this artsy side that adds a whole other layer. He's not just a gang leader, he's the type who'll murder someone 1 minute and then get emotional over a burnt painting the next. Dude is complex. He's got some real insecurities hiding under that flashy confidence. Like when that priceless art piece in his museum caught fire, man had a meltdown. Not even subtle. And don't get me started on how he handled that whole bodyguard situation, cold as ice. The craziest part is, he's not even supposed to be the big bad. The Croat and the Dama have way more power, technically, but Bruegel, he feels like a real problem, like he's not done making waves, and that's what makes him such a standout. He's got presence. You can't ignore him when he's on screen. He's also got that weird charm. Yeah, he's manipulative and arrogant, but something about him is just fun to watch. He's flashy, dramatic, and feels like a Walking Dead version of a Bond villain or something. And those little details, like his weaponized watch, that's the kind of quirky villain trait that makes you want to see what he's going to do next. I really hope he sticks around, because this show needs characters like Bruegel, the kind of guy who could bring chaos and comedy in equal doses. Imagine him in a scene with Negan, just those two trying to outsass each other would be hilarious. Or picture him with someone super serious like Daryl. Totally oil and water situation, but the awkward energy would be gold. And Princess, she'd probably throw him off so bad he wouldn't know what hit him. That's the kind of dynamic this universe needs more of. There's definitely potential for Bruegel to become a recurring character if the writers play their cards right. I mean, we've seen what happened with Jadis. She went from trash heap leader to working with the CRM, so it's not impossible. But Bruegel, being based in New York, kind of limits his crossover opportunities. And let's face it, Kim Coates isn't exactly a nobody. He's busy, so keeping him around long term might be tricky. Still, a guy can dream, right? If there's ever a crossover event in the future, please let Bruegel be a part of it. He brings such unique flavor to the group dynamic, even if it's just a one off appearance in another show. I'd be hyped. Sadly, though, I've got a bad feeling they're gonna kill him off, or just leave him stranded in NYC, which would be a waste. This franchise finally gives us a character that's fun and fascinating, and the odds are we don't get to keep him. Total missed opportunity if they don't do more with him. Bottom line, Bruegel is the type of villain that brings the exact kind of chaotic energy The Walking Dead needs more of. He's stylish, sly, totally untrustworthy, but you still want to see what he'll do next. The dude is a walking contradiction, and I'm here for it. If TWD doesn't find a way to keep him around, they're seriously fumbling the bag. And you know what's wild? We've seen so many villains in the Walking Dead universe who are either all bark and no bite, or just straight up monsters with zero personality. Bruegel breaks that mode. He's stylish, theatrical, and weirdly refined for someone running a gang in a post apocalyptic hellhole. Like, my guy is literally out here sipping drinks in a museum full of stolen art while orchestrating Walker cage matches. That's the kind of flair we rarely see in the franchise, and it works. It's honestly refreshing to have a bad guy who isn't just another grunting, angry mess with daddy issues. Bruegel doesn't just feel like some mid-season villain meant to die after a few episodes. He feels like someone who could be an icon in this universe. He's got a brand, he has the look, the attitude, the presence. When he's in the scene, it's his scene. He could easily carry his own spin-off, or at the very least, be that wild card character who pops up in different storylines, causing chaos and giving the audience a little jolt of excitement every time he shows up. Like, if he were to team up with the wrong people, things could go sideways real quick, and it'd be fun to watch. Also, what makes Bruegel so dangerous isn't just his power or resources, it's how he operates. He's sneaky, he plays the long game, he's not out here screaming orders or threatening people every second like Negan used to do. Nah, Bruegel will charm you, flatter you, maybe even offer you a drink, and then stab you in the back once you've let your guard down. That unpredictability makes him even scarier than some of the more aggressive villains. He doesn't need to throw punches, he manipulates, plots, and schemes in a way that feels way more insidious. And don't even get me started on what a waste it would be if the writers don't let him interact with more legacy characters. Like, come on, give us Bruegel meeting Carol. That icy glare she gives people when they try to play her. He try to flirt. She'd roll her eyes so hard you'd hear it, and it would be comedy gold. Or Rick. Imagine Rick having to work with Bruegel temporarily. Bruegel's chaotic neutral energy paired with the worn down seriousness of the OG survivors would open up so many story opportunities, it's insane. At the end of the day, The Walking Dead has always been about more than just the walkers. It's about the people, the moral dilemmas, and the way society tries to rebuild itself when everything's gone to hell. Bruegel fits perfectly into that theme. He's what happens when charm, power, and selfish ambition collide in a lawless world. There's still so much potential in this character, and I'm really hoping they don't toss him aside too soon. The franchise could seriously use a long term villain like him, one who's not just terrifying but also straight up entertaining. But anyway, y'all, I'll see you in the next one.